Hello children, let's start with the numericals of exercise number 2b. We are done with 1 to 6. Now I am starting with the 7th numerical here. So the 7th numerical, the body is at rest, which is made to fall. The body at rest is made to fall from the top of a tower, and in a displacement, its displacement at different instants is given by the following table. So here we have the displacement given as well as the time given. So you have to plot a displacement time graph and you have to tell whether it is uniform or non-uniform, whether the motion is uniform or non-uniform. So here are the coordinates. Time will be on the x-axis, displacement will be on the y-axis. Time, that is 0 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 till 0.6, and displacement is given over here. Now we are supposed to plot the graph, so we'll plot the graph and then we will conclude that whether the motion is uniform or it is a non-uniform motion. So here I have plotted the graph out here. So we can just see that's the displacement and the time axis is written. Displacement I have put it on the y-axis and time is on the x-axis, and accordingly the coordinates I have written here. Time, that is 0 0.1, 0.2 till 0.6. Here I have from 0.2 to 2, so 0.4, 0.6 till 2. Then I have plotted the points. First point was 0.05 and 0.1, so just in between, somewhere over here between 0.2, 0.1, you have to plot it on the graph so that you can plot it very nicely and precisely. Then 0.2, I have taken it as 0.2. 0.3 it was 0.45, 0.4 it was 0.8, 0.5 it was 1.25, and 0.6 it was 1.80. So here I have plotted the points. Now from this graph we can say that the motion is non-uniform because it's a curve. The motion is non-uniform because it is a curve. So we conclude here that the displacement time graph is a curve, so the motion is non-uniform. So I have written here, you can write it from there. Now next one, 8th numerical. I'll read the 8th numerical. What is that? 8th numerical, it is showing the velocity time graph for the motion of the body. Now you have to find the displacement of the body. So here you are given with the velocity time graph, okay, and with the help of the velocity time graph you are supposed to find out the displacement. So velocity time graph is given, you are supposed to find the displacement and then you are supposed to plot the displacement time graph here. Okay, so you have to find it for the time t, 1 2 3 seconds and 4 seconds. So here I have taken the velocity at 1 second, which is displacement, which is equal to velocity into time, that is 1 into 1, which is 1 meter. Then here velocity, which is equal to t equals to t equals to 2 seconds here. So displacement equals to velocity into time, 2 into 2, which is 4 meters. Then velocity at t equal to 3 seconds, displacement equals to velocity into time, so 3 into 3, that is 9 meters you are getting here. Then here we are getting the velocity at time t equals to 4 seconds. So with this we will be getting the displacement. Okay, this is the displacement we are getting, right? We are finding the displacement. You can see s. Okay, velocity is nothing but whatever we are getting the value, you are just writing from there. And 4 into 4, 16. So from where are you getting the velocity now? You are getting it from here. Just observe, at 1 time 1 second, what is the velocity? 1. At time 2 seconds, what is the velocity? 2. At time 3 seconds, it is 3. At time 4 seconds, it is 4. So in this way you found the displacement and you can plot the displacement time graph. If you see, the first thing when we had done, we had found here the displacement, right? Oh, sorry, we had the displacement with us, but with the displacement we found the velocity, right? We had found the velocity and then we plotted, but here velocity is already given, so we are plotting the displacement time graph. So with the help of the coordinates, what we can do, time 1 second, so displacement 1 meters, sorry, time 2 seconds, so displacement 4 meters, time 3 seconds, displacement 9, and time for 4 second, displacement 16. So here I plot the graph. This is the graph which I get, 1 2 2 4 3 9 and 4 16. So this is the graph which we have plotted. Okay, now let us go to the next one, that's the 9th numerical. Now the 9th numerical is it's based on the picture study. I hope these two numericals were clear. They were just plotting the graphs, how you are supposed to do, that is plotting the graphs. Now here we are having the picture study. Let us go to the 9th numerical. Now 9th numerical, you can see that there is a figure which is given, which is a velocity time graph. Okay, then from this velocity time graph, it has three different parts over here. So you can see three different parts are there, AB, BC and CD. So these are the three parts over here. So now let us see how we can solve these problems. Now ninth one, first there are three parts of the question. First part is you have to find out the distance traveled in any part of determined by the graph. Show how is state how is the distance traveled in any part determined from this graph. Then you are supposed to compare the distance which is BC and AB. Then you are supposed to tell from the graph which is having uniform velocity, acceleration, retardation. Then the fourth one, you have to find out the magnitude. You have to say whether the magnitude is there, and then we are supposed to see the magnitude of acceleration and retardation. So let us see the first part of the question, which is how will you determine the distance. Now if you see from this graph, every time we are finding the distance, how we will be finding the distance, how, by just finding the area of the enclosed figure, right? So we can write distance traveled in any part can be determined by finding the area enclosed by the figure. So we can say distance traveled can be determined by the by finding the area enclosed in the figure. Okay, so this is how we can find the distance. Now we are supposed to compare distance BC and AB. While comparing distance BC and AB, we are supposed to first find out their areas, right? So let us see where is the distance part BC. Can you see part BC over here? So BC, which is the area enclosed by BC, this particular area. So if you see, it's like a rectangle. We'll not tell it as a square, we'll take it as a rectangle. So this is a rectangle. So we will see that distance traveled in BC, which is nothing but area of rectangle TBC 2T. Okay, so we'll be seeing that distance traveled in BC is nothing but area of triangle TBC 2T, which is nothing but which is length into breadth. So here what will be the length? It will be 2T minus T0. 2T minus T0 will give me this length, right? Breadth is nothing but V0. So you can see the breadth is nothing but V0 here. Length is nothing but 2T minus 2T0. 2T minus T, sorry. 2T minus T will be giving me what? The length. Breadth we can take it as V0. So I hope it is clear. So we will be solving it now. So distance traveled in part BC is nothing but area of rectangle TBC 2T, right? See in your diagram 2.42 TBC 2T. Okay, so that is length into breadth 2T minus T into V0. Okay, so the answer what do we get? That is 2T minus T, we get it as 1T, right, which is equal to V0, right? So here we can say 2T minus T will be giving me what? 1T. So 1T into V0 is what? V0T. So we got the distance traveled by part BC. Okay, so we have got here distance traveled by part BC, that is V0T. Now next is you have to find out the distance traveled by part AB. So here distance traveled by part AB is given as area of triangle ABT. Okay, now let us see how. Here you can see where is part AB. This is part AB. Now to find out the displacement part AB, we have to find out the area enclosed by the figure. So ABT. So in triangle ABT, what is the formula? Half into base into height, right? Area of triangle ABT. What is the base? T. Okay, what is the base? T. Then what is the height? V0. What is the height? V0. So we will be substituting the values. So here you can see distance traveled by part AB, which is half into base into height, which is half into T into V0, which is half V0T. So did you understand this part? Half V0T, how did we get? Because here once again I will show in triangle ABT, base into height, base T, height V0. So half into T into V0, which is half V0T. Now you have to compare the distances between BC and AB. So here you are comparing the distances BCs to AB. So what is the part displacement of part BC? Distance traveled by part BC V0T. Distance traveled by part AB is half V0. So V0 cancel. So here this 2 will be going here, 2V0. Then half cancel. So it becomes 2:1. So 2 goes here, 2:1 is the ratio of BCs to AB. So we have compared this two things also. Now here we have to show which part of the graph is showing us a uniform velocity. So which part of the graph from here shows us a uniform velocity? It's part BC. It's part BC. So here we can say uniform velocity, part BC. Then uniform acceleration. What is the uniform acceleration? It's AB. Why uniform acceleration? Because the ball is traveling upwards, or we can say the car is starting here. So we will be taking it as 0. Okay, acceleration will be uniform over here. Then retardation will be uniform where? At CD, because it's moving. That means if we take that it is traveling on a hill upwards, traveling straight and coming downwards again, so we will be taking it like that. Or we can say velocity is uniform here, and uniform velocity here, uniform acceleration here, uniform velocity here, uniform retardation here. So uniform velocity will be part BC, uniform acceleration will be part AB, and uniform retardation will be part CD. So these are the three things. Now here they have asked another question, which is the magnitude of acceleration higher or lower than that of the retardation? So here we are supposed to answer that the magnitude of acceleration is higher or the magnitude of retardation is higher. So here we can say that the magnitude of the acceleration is lower than that of the retardation. Acceleration is lower than that of retardation, we can say. Okay, why acceleration is lower than the retardation here is because we can say that the car is accelerated. Okay, if it is accelerated upwards, so the velocity also, it is difficult to go against the gravitation. So here the acceleration will be, we can say that it will be lower than that of the retardation. Okay, retardation means here you can say velocity will keep on increasing. Here we can say it will be going with less velocity because it is against the gravity. Now you have to see the B part, which is compare the magnitude of acceleration and retardation. Now you have to compare these two things. So how will you compare the acceleration? Is just by finding the slope of AB. So if you see, slope of AB is nothing but V0 by T. Slope of AB is V0 by T. Then you see slope of CD. Slope of CD is how much? V0 by 0.5 T. How did I get 0.5 T? 2.5 minus 2, how much will be getting? 0.5. So slope of CD is nothing but V0 upon 0.5. So we can say here slope of AB, as I told you, V0 by T. Slope of CD is nothing but V0 upon 0.5 T. Now you compare these two things, AB and CD. So here V0 by T, which is equal to V0 upon 0.5 T. Okay, V0 by T equals to V0 upon 0.5 T. So here finally when you take out the ratio, you get it as 1 is to 2. This V0 cancels, then this T gets cancelled, and you get the ratio as 1 is to 2. Okay, now let us proceed with the 10th numerical. Now 10th numerical, we have the velocity time graph of a moving body. Same basis, but here you have to find out the accelerations in AB, BC, CD. You have to find out the displacement in each part AB, BC, CD, as well as the total displacement. Now first we are supposed to find out the acceleration in part AB. So let us see how to find out the acceleration in part AB. So here we are going to find out first the acceleration in part AB by the slope of AB. So here when you are finding out the slope of AB, you are supposed to find out tan of angle BAD. Tan of angle BAD is nothing but, we can say, AB, okay, AB upon A, which is AB upon A4. Okay, this. Let us see how. So we can say that it will be that is the slope of angle BAD will be this particular side AB. Okay, tan of angle BAD, that is this particular AB upon this particular direction. Okay, that will be 30 upon 4. So 30 upon 4 gives me 7.5 meter per second square. This is acceleration in part AB. Then part BC will be 0 because it's traveling with a constant velocity, so there will be no acceleration. Then acceleration in part CD. Okay, when we are talking about CD, so we will be taking slope of CD, that is angle CDA. So from here CDA we will take this particular direction, this will be retardation, so minus 30 upon 2. So minus 30 upon 2, you can see here minus 30 upon 2, which is nothing but minus 15 meter per second square. Okay, meter per second square. Now this tan, cos, sine you will be studying in trigonometry. So basically tan, we can say that the I mean if we have a right angle triangle, then we will be taking one side upon the hypotenuse. So on the basis of that, so you just understand that whenever you will be plotting, you just take this particular direction, that is the time axis below and the velocity axis upward. So you'll get it as the answers at as minus 15 meter per second square. So here 30 divided with 4, here 30 divided with 2, so you got the answer. Now you have to find out the displacement of part AB. So here you are supposed to find out displacement of part AB. Obviously you will find the area of this triangle, so which is half into base into height, so half into 4 into 30, which gives you 60 meters. Similarly you are supposed to find out displacement in part BC. So part BC, you have the area of the rectangle, which is length into breadth, so which is nothing but 30 into 4. This is 2, this is 2, 4, 30 into 4. Okay, half into 4, where is, okay, part BC I have done here. So 30 into 4, 120. Displacement of part AB, that is the rectangle BC. Then CD will be given by area of the rectangle C8D. C8D, half into base into height, half into 30 into 2, which is 30 meters. Okay, so this is 60, this is 120, this is 30. So you just see displacement in part AB was given by this rectangle. Displacement in part displacement in part AB was given by this triangle. Displacement in BC was given by rectangle, and displacement in this particular was given by this triangle. So add all these things, you get the total displacement as 210. So when you add all these things, you will get it as 210. Okay, so this is the 10th numerical. I hope you are clear. Now let us go to the 11th numerical, which is the 11th numerical is a ball moves on a smooth floor in a straight line with a uniform velocity 10 meter per second for 6 seconds and t equals to 6 seconds to the line at the starting point with same speed. You have to draw the velocity time graph and you have to find out the total distance traveled by the ball and its total displacement. Now here we can say that the ball was traveling on a smooth floor. Okay, so here we can say that the ball was traveling on a smooth floor. It traveled like this for 6 seconds and hit back and again traveled for 6 seconds. Okay, so what we can say, it started at 6 seconds and at t equal to 6 seconds it came back again. Okay, so how will the graph be? The graph will be having positive and negative. How? So here you can see that 10 meter per second square is the acceleration, which is sorry, the uniform velocity 10 meter per second. So see here, at 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4, 5, 6, all the 6 second the ball is over here, that is at the positive axis. Then it hit the wall and returned back. So when it is hitting the ball and returning back, it will be at negative axis, right? That is, we will be getting negative, that is coming back to the same position, right? So negative acceleration. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here positive, here negative. Okay, now what are you supposed to find out? You have to supposed to find out the distance traveled. So how much is the distance traveled? V into t. So what is the velocity? We can say velocity is 10. What is the time? 6. So 10 into 6 is how much? 60 meter per second. So here you got the distance. Then in next 6 seconds, what is happening? The same thing, 10 into 60. So 60 meter per second. So total distance will be how much? 120. Are you understanding here? 10 meter per second the velocity, timing is 6 seconds, so 60 meter per second, this part. Then here again 60 meter per second. So here it went 60, here it went 60. So what is the total distance? 120. But what is the displacement here? Displacement is 0, right? How 0? How we can say 0? Plus 60 minus 60. So how much will be the displacement? 0. So did you understand this? What happened actually? Ball was traveling, hit the surface, came back again. So distance in 6 seconds this much, in another 6 seconds this much, total distance 120 meters, but displacement is 0. Okay, now the last numerical, the 12th numerical, we will be going through it. Here you have velocity time graph shown. You are supposed to find out the nature of the motion of the particle, then the displacement, then all these things we will be seeing one by one. So let us see the first thing. First thing, you have to find out the displacement of the particle. That first you have to state the nature. So in nature we can say that the motion is uniformly accelerated from 0 to 4 seconds and then retarded from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. So can you see here how first it is uniformly accelerated from 0 to 4 seconds and then from 4 to 6 it is uniformly retarded. Okay, uniformly accelerated, uniformly retarded. Then you are supposed to find out the displacement of the particle. So displacement of the particle in 6 seconds. So displacement of the particle in 6 seconds, how much it will be? So here we are going to take triangle OAC. I have just marked it. You can also mark it in your textbook. So here I'll take OAC. So when I take triangle OAC, we will be writing it as half into base into height. So half into 6 into 2. Half into 6 into 2. So half into 6 into 2 will be giving me 6 meters. So distance of particle in time 6 seconds is 6 meters. Okay, that is 6 meters. Displacement of the particle in time equal to 6 seconds is 6 meter. Then third question, does the particle change its direction? No, it is not changing its direction. No, the particle does not change its position with time. Then you have to compare the distance traveled by the particle from 0 to 4 seconds and then from 4 to 6 seconds. So here first we will be seeing the distance traveled from 0 to 4 and then from 4 to 6 seconds. Let us see from 0 to 4 seconds. So when it is traveling from 0 to 4 seconds, we will be taking triangle OAB, right, from 0 to 4. So when we take triangle OAB, you can just, or OA4, whatever it is, so which will be half into base into height. So half into 4 into 2. Half into 4 into 2 will give me how much? 4 meters. So here area of triangle OAB, OB into AB, which is 4 meter. Then next we have 4 to 6 seconds. 4 to 6 seconds means triangle BAC. Triangle BAC or ABC. So here half into base into height. So half into 2 into 2. Half into 2 into 2 gives me how much? 2 meters. So here I got it as 2 meters. Now you have to compare these two distances. So compare distance D1, that is distance of 0 to 4 second, to 4 to 6. D1 is to D2, which is 4 is to 2. So 4 is to 2 is nothing but 2 is to 1. So 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. So answer comes as 2 is to 1. Okay. Then when we are calculating the acceleration from 0 to 4 second is nothing but, we can say, change in velocity upon time. So change in velocity is 2 upon 4. So 2 upon 4 gives me half, which is 0.5 meter per second square. And then acceleration from 4 to 6 seconds gives me velocity, change in velocity upon time. So your change in velocity upon time is nothing but how much? 2 upon 2. Okay, here, so we will be getting is 1 meter per second square, per second square. So this is the two retardation, as well as we can say that the acceleration, that is 0.5, and here we got it as 1 meter per second square. Okay, so I hope all the numericals are clear. Just go through it once properly and write it in your notebooks. Thank you.